It is Monday, July the 20th, and after a early summer dominance of the NBA offseason, it is time to return to the NFL talk. With training camps just weeks away, it is time to get ready for the 2026 NFL season. And we're going to start it tonight with a little division preview show. So kick back, relax, because another edition of Unbiased is live, and it starts right now. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome into another edition of Unbiased, only here on 609 Sports Talk Radio. This is, of course, the show for all your unbiased sports talk. And as always, we are your hosts, Sam Nelson, fresh off his vacation, Tyler Adams. Tyler, I think for this particular week, it's not a very happy Monday for you.
It's a bit of 50-50, I would say, more so. About a 50-50.
That is a fair enough. But before we get, how was our vacation? Was it good? Was it enjoyable?
It was very good, very relaxing.
Very nice.
And
very
now
good
we're
to hear. We are back on the grid. So look, we were off on a whole bunch of shows last week. Hitting Home was live last Monday. We did our MLB midseason awards. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into that show. DA was off last week. Birds of the Gridiron, Unbiased. We were all off last week. We all got a little bit of a breather, except for Dustin and myself, but that's okay. Back on the grid. Now, look, it's been a very busy summer of NBA offseason talk, and there's still one big domino to fall. Do we get that breaking news tonight? Knowing our luck, probably not. It'll happen around 11:50 Eastern time tonight, so DA will cover that tomorrow, because that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But look, we have had a summer full of NBA offseason talk. We were talking NBA blockbuster moves since the beginning of since the finals ended. Giannis to Miami, Jaylen Brown to Philly, Kawhi Leonard reportedly still going to Toronto until that whole NBA investigation thing subsides. We were talking some World Cup. We've been talking everything. But Tyler, answer me. I need a question. We took a week off. I'm a little rusty. What's our bread and butter again? What is the go-to conversation that we love so damn much?
It is always going to be the NFL.
Yes, indeed it is. And that is where we are tonight. We are going to do an NFL Beat the Grid at the end of the show. We'll close it out with that little fun game. We'll talk some New Orleans Saints. They made a move that we've been kind of waiting to see. But we are going to kick off this week, between now and the beginning of the season, our NFL preview coverage. And this week, we are going to kick off with an NFC West preview. Now look, the NFC West, a lot of movement.
Yeah.
Three very good teams. That could be a division that could possibly field 3 playoff teams like it did last year. Now, of course, we know what the Rams have done this offseason. Myles Garrett, Jalen Watson, Trent McDuffie.
Mm-hmm.
49ers, they've made some moves, getting Osa Odigizua from the Cowboys. And then you still have the reigning, defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks, who, by the way, I cannot believe that are basically underdogs in their own division after winning a Super Bowl. But, when a team adds a top 10 corner and the best defensive player in the sport, and probably one of the best defensive players of all time, you kind of get overlooked just a little bit. But that Seahawks team is still loaded, still has the offensive player of the year, still has a great defense, still has Sam Darnold. So, Tyler, that's going to start the show off with the famous question. Who do you believe will win the NFC West? And I've been waiting for 2 weeks to say this. The floor is yours.
The floor is most definitely mine. I handpicked this division for us to start with
You did.
many weeks ago because this one's going to be a bloodbath. You have the reigning Super Bowl champs. You have a disgruntled 49ers team who had one too many injuries on their defense last year, all to keep CMC healthy.
One too many?
All too many. And now you have this Los Angeles Rams team, which last year I think we could both say we had them as Super Bowl contenders. They didn't make it, but they were definitely contenders last year. And they just went out and solidified their roster as probably the strongest starting roster in the NFL.
Disagreement.
And not to mention, there's still a looming possibility of Aaron Donald coming out of retirement. Unsure where that stands currently, but I know the door isn't closed on that completely. So, the one team I'm not going to mention right now is the Cardinals. We could touch on them a little bit after, but it's really a three-man race. Three teams that could all make the playoffs next year. And I gotta say, my favorite, it still has to be the Los Angeles Rams. I know it's tough going against the reigning Super Bowl champs. Seattle didn't necessarily lose too much. Yes, losing Kenneth Walker, that hurts a little bit. But their defense is still going to be really good. Their offense is still going to be great. But everything the Rams did, the Rams put everything into this year to make sure that they have a good shot to win again, to win that Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford while they still have him. It's hard to bet against them. I mean, we're looking at Stafford, the combo of Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. Their four tight end quartet, if you so want to call it. I mean, Colby Parkins had a great year last year. Tyler Higbee, the wily veteran. Terrence Ferguson, he had an okay year with them. And then they drafted Max Clare. So they got a lot of different things that they can do with all those tight ends. Offensive line, they all play great together. I mean, there's no complaints about that there. But what they've done defensively, the one problem they had last year, stopping teams from scoring and losing in high scoring shootouts. So, okay, they already have the pass rush. That's not enough. We're going to go and trade for Myles Garrett. Our corners are always looking like burnt pieces of toast. Well, you know what? How about we go and trade for Trent McDuffie, and let's just bring over Jalen Watson with him as well while we're at it. You still have Cameron Kitchens, one of the premier safeties in the league right now. Still have Cam Curl, a very respectable safety. And then you have Quentin Lake. This defense, on paper, has potential to be a top 3 defense in the league next year. And it's hard to think about because the Rams, they were always that high-powered offense, but you could always still score on their defense to keep you in the game. That's how you would beat the Rams. Now, with how much they strengthen that defense, how do you stop the Rams?
Well, first off, banner first, little bit of a segment there. I absolutely think that the Rams are a very good team. I think they're the most complete team they're the most complete team in the league. This may be like the closest thing we've ever seen to a roster without a weakness. I will say though, when it comes to this division, with the weapons that they have, if Jacoby Brissett can kind of have a year, I'm just kidding. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, I was about to just cut you off right there.
No, we're not doing that here. But no, the Rams are the favorite in this division. They are my favorite to win this division because, again, there is not a weakness on that team. you have a guy, you have the MVP of the league in Matthew Stafford. You already said about the running backs. The wide receiver core is still lethal with Puka and Devontae Adams. The tight end, what you call it earlier, the tight end,
The quartet.
the quartet of tight ends that they have. O-line still very solid, but that defense, which was already good, the only weakness they had last year was outside the numbers against opposing wide receivers. They weren't good enough, and they went out. They got Trent McDuffie, and now you're like, okay, that's probably the only piece they really desperately needed. And then, of course, you go out, you get Jalen Watson, his teammates. Like, okay, they've got a chemistry together. They know how the other one operates, so that's a good little core to have there. Then they swing the damn trade for Myles Garrett. And somehow, this already ridiculous defense that had a revamped secondary and an already loaded defensive line that also had, before the trade, Jarrett Verse, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Josiah Stewart. Now, you subtract Jarrett Verse, but you add the best defense. You added the best player in football. And I'm not talking, because here's the one thing I'm sick of about with the NFL. I'm tired of hearing, this quarterback is the best player in football. No. The best player in football is the best player no matter the position. Myles Garrett right now is the best player in the National Football League. Take out the quarterback bias, take all that stuff out. He's the best player in football.
Yeah, you have to look at which player makes the most impact when he's out on the field.
And he's probably the most impactful player in the NFL that's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to hear this whole, you can't be the best player if you're not a quarterback. Yes, you can. I don't understand why we are just so, every award has to go to a quarterback. They're the quarterback. Yes, it's the most important position in sports. We know this, but for them to add that player to this roster, which again, like we said, is absolutely loaded. It is stacked, and it is ridiculous. I don't know how you're going to score on that defense whatsoever. Because they're going to cover, they're going to get after the quarterback. Where do you the only thing you could question about the Rams maybe still is their run defense, which was not good again last year. That's a big reason why they struggled so much at times. They don't stop the run very well. And ultimately, that's what cost them in the NFC Championship game against the Seahawks, is Kenneth Walker had a very good game in that game. But I just don't know if I feel like they have enough talent to where they can mask that. I don't see a scenario where that's going to be that much of a weakness for this Rams squad.
No, I totally agree. I mean, and I do get it. For anyone out there who wants to go with Seattle as your favorite in this division, it's totally understandable. They just won the Super Bowl. They didn't have a huge roster turnover. They are still primed to compete and contend. But on paper, this Rams team is undeniable. We have to see how it all culminates on the field throughout the season. But on paper, there's no denying that this is one of the most dominant teams in the league.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that could derail a team like this Rams group is health, but they've been a pretty healthy team. I mean, even Matthew Stafford, who I feel like he battles through more injuries than we will ever be told of, but
yeah.
And again, that question will start to come up. Will Stafford still keep this level of play throughout the rest of his career? I mean, he does. I mean, he is getting up there in age, but he's still going to be probably one of the top 3 best quarterbacks in the league next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I've never seen a team constructed like this where I don't see a weakness. I can personally just point out and say, okay, that's why they won't win a Super Bowl. I feel like I'm looking at the Golden State Warriors after they signed Kevin Durant. Now, again, different sport. You still got to play the games, and I still think there are plenty of good teams in the NFL and in the NFC that can compete with them. And honestly, the team with the best shot to beat the Rams is the reigning Super Bowl champion Seahawks. I think the NFC has some really good teams, but the Seahawks, in my eyes, are still the team that have the best shot at taking them down. And
Yeah,
that's because
I
they
agree.
probably and that's probably because they have one of the top three defenses in all of football. Not to mention they have a very solid offense. You still have Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I'm saying that in 2026. Just what a story Sam Darnold has been.
Yeah, I mean, a complete underdog story. Starting from the New York Jets, bouncing around, was spent time in was Carolina, and then that went to the Vikings. Am I missing a team here?
He was the backup at San Francisco before going to
Back up at
Minnesota for a
San
year.
Fran. Okay, yep.
But yeah, Sam Darnold's been one of football's most awesome success stories over the past 2 years. This is a guy that we thought shortly before that was going to be out of the league soon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, Jets was a train wreck. Panthers wasn't much better. And then he goes and sits on the bench with Shanahan for a year. And then he goes to Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. And you are now, and then of course he goes with Kubiak last year in Seattle. And you are seeing the definition of what a coaching staff can do to an NFL player, especially one who had been struggling throughout the start of his NFL career. This is the one thing that you have to say when it comes to the NFL is that coaching matters. Systems matter. And now that he's been put into that Shanahan McVay style of offense over the past few years, where, sitting in San Francisco, going out to Minnesota, and now he's ultimately in Seattle, this year will be interesting now that Kubiak is no longer with them and he is now in Las Vegas coaching the Raiders. So that will be an interesting thing to look at. But I think Sam
Mm-hmm.
Darnold has learned enough now over the past couple of years, spending the time with the coaches that he has, that he now knows what he has to do to maintain the success that he's had over the past 2 seasons. I don't think that's a doubt in my mind.
No, not at all.
But the only show that was on last week is here. But yeah, no, I just for one, the Seahawks still are the closest competition to the Rams that I can think of, and it should this not be the other way around?
Yeah, you would kind of think so.
We should be talking about who is the best shot at competition to take down the Seahawks. But even if they're winning the Super Bowl, the Seahawks are the best in their division.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, obviously losing Kenneth Walker, he's not the greatest running back, but he's still a very good running back, and he played very well in their system. So I think that's what really does it a lot for me. I get it. The kid they drafted on, what was his name? Out of Notre
Darian
Dame this year.
Price.
Yes. I think he's going to have a very good combo role with Zach Charbonnet when he recovers from that injury, which I'm hoping he'll be ready to go for week one.
Probably
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit later into the season because
Yes.
he suffered that injury in the NFC title game. So
Yeah, it was late. And what was the injury again?
ACL tear.
ACL tear, yes. That's going to be tough. So, I mean, hey, throwing Price into the fire, let's see what he's made of.
Yeah, no, and when they do, and I mean, look, when they do get Charbonnet back, that'll help them a lot. But they did bring in Emmanuel Wilson from Green Bay, who will probably help fill in some of the void until Charbonnet gets back.
I do like Dustin's point that he just made. The Seahawks did lose Kobe Bryant. They also lost
Rick Woolen.
Reek Woolen to the Eagles this year as well. So it's not
And that's
like
like they're
they.
disappointed.
Oh, I'm not disappointed. Rams or Seahawks fans are definitely disappointed. But yeah, I mean, they kept a lot of their core in place. Emmanuel Ari, Julian Love, Witherspoon, Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed, Marcus Lawrence, Byron Murphy.
Still have Josh Jobe.
Still have Josh Jobe, exactly. So they got a lot of core pieces, but as Dustin said, they lost more and the Rams gained a lot more. So, hey, congratulations, Seattle. You won the Super Bowl. They've done it before. They know how hard it is to make it back and win another one. So, it's going to take a lot of
Well, it's
grit
not
for
hard
them.
to get back. It's not hard to get back and win another as long as you call the right play at the goal line.
Well, that is true too. That is true.
I'm not going to
They
take
had
any
their
shots.
chance.
No, the one thing I will say is that the Kobe Bryant loss is going to hurt them because he was really big for that secondary. They did draft Bud Clark out of TCU in the second round, and he is a ball hawk playmaking safety, but not everybody gets thrown into the fire and contributes day one.
Exactly. He's not going to be a guy I see contributing right out the gate.
And the Reek Woolen loss, and here's what I call this. I call this Eagle syndrome because I feel like every time. No. Let me explain this real quick. This is not going to become a Philadelphia Eagles rant. I just want to say, when it comes to the national media, every time said player joins the Eagles, we have to find a way why that player stinks.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like, he's this, he's that. Reek Woolen, when they had him last year, and you put him with Josh Jobe, with Witherspoon, and then you have the versatility of Nicky Manwari, who, by the way, was put on the PUP list today. Now, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of concern there to start the season, but he was placed on the PUP list this afternoon, so something to monitor through Seahawks training camp. But back to what I was saying, when you had Woolen and Jobe and Emanwari and Witherspoon, both guys who could basically defend anywhere you put them on a football field with Kobe Bryant, they loved last year using those 6-7 defensive back sets. So I really think that that's going to hurt them not having the experience to do it. Yes, they drafted Neal, they drafted Bud Clark, and they could be very good players, but they're rookies. Last year, you had all those guys who could defend at those positions and have no issue with it. And John Hobbs said Seahawks got this. They got all cut up for a backup safety and does a great job. But John, I don't disagree. John, by the way, thank you for checking the show out. Appreciate it.
Welcome in. But yeah, I mean, you're totally right. I'm not saying Seattle has no chance. I mean, they're still a very strong team in the NFC and the NFL as a whole. But I think this conversation, it really boils down to, I love how we haven't even mentioned the 49ers once. And they are a team that will be in the playoffs, but it's just, no, it's going to take a lot for them to make it to a Super Bowl.
Can I just give Nad a shout out? I want to give him the shout out because I feel like this is the very first time that he's ever commented on a show to where we're actually talking about some other NFL team other than the freaking Eagles.
Yes, what's up, Nad? If you want to give us your thoughts about the Niners and this, NFC West division, please let us know.
Well, him and John are going at it in the comments already, so this is fun. Who doesn't love a good comment war?
Yeah, there'll be one or two names or 20 that show up on that list.
They already placed somebody on the PUP list.
Oh, where's George?
Probably still at the work desk. Oh man! And on that, and John, that's very possible. The Niners are still a good team, but again, they are going up against. Here's where I'm at with the 49ers. A lot has to go right for that team.
Yeah.
And Zolt's going to die laughing in about 5 seconds. They have to stay healthy.
I feel like that's what we say about the Niners every year.
And no, Nat, you're spot on.
A big loss for them again is going to be the loss of Robert Saleh.
Oh, without a doubt, because I'm not. No disrespect, Shanahan was amazing last year, but with the amount of injuries that Robert Saleh had on that defense last year, and it kept them in it enough to still win 11 games and go in to the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions' house and beat them. That's impressive with the amount of injuries that they had. And look, these are not small injuries. No Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa. This team was depleted. This chat is going insane.
It is.
But
I think we need to start talking about the Cardinals, actually.
no. No, I want to keep my viewer numbers up. Sorry. But the fact that they were able to go into the Eagles' house, who are the reigning champions, beat them with all those injuries. And like you said, it's like they had to sacrifice their entire roster's health to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy, who, by the way, that was my MVP of last year. Because, like I said, I still am under the firm assumption of what a most valuable player is. And like I say with every sport, but my MVP in other sports, I was told that a guy who averaged 12 points a game last year was better than the guy that I thought was the MVP of the league, in the NBA at least. But that's another story for another day. Let me get this chat going real quick. Good Lord, you guys are going nuts tonight. You're the dark horse. Oh my God. So I wasn't trying to be funny, but I guess. And Dad, look, if the Niners offense, if the offensive unit stays healthy, which, by the way, I wish the 49ers would just figure this whole Brandon Ayuk thing out and please get it at and get it done. I'm getting kind of sick and tired of listening to him on his Instagram posts and all the other crap that he does.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Purdy could have a good year. Purdy was good last year when he got back. Mac Jones did a fine job for them when Purdy was banged up, so I got to give him that respect. What's up, Anthony?
What's going on?
Anthony said the big will also be seen. Oh,
that is a good point. I mean, when do we really see him healthy? 2 years in a row.
Let's see.
I mean, it does not happen that often.
All right, so here is... Oh, this is really bad. I'm going to go all the way back to 2017, 2018. Here are Christian McCaffrey's games played. 16, 16, 16. 3, 7, 17. That's the year he was with Carolina and they got traded to the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
He has not played back-to-back fully healthy years since 22-23 and 23-24, where he played 16 games that year. Last year, and then 2 years ago, he only played in 4, and this past year he played 17. So,
wow.
It's possible, but again, with the track record that Christian McCaffrey has, it's not very likely.
Yeah, no, it's not is at all.
So, I do kind of I get where the
concern is. We all want to see him healthy. The NFL is more interesting when he's healthy and he's going off doing his thing. It's better for the 49ers, their fans. We don't want to see him have an unhealthy year where he misses like 14 games.
Exactly. And I feel like John was spot on with this comment. Shanahan is a good coach. The biggest problem with the Niners, they don't know how to draft and pick up young players. Honestly, I'm going to agree with that. They don't draft very well. They don't keep the cupboard is always, it's never just getting refilled every draft. I feel like, especially this past year's draft, I don't think Lynch drafted well at all.
No.
And I know George has his opinions on John Lynch, but I don't think the Niners draft well at all. That's how you stay competitive. That's why the Seahawks are the way they are. Even the Rams, yes, the Rams have spent some money and have gone out and traded for key players to this roster. Yeah. I'm not saying they haven't, but they drafted Cam Kitchens. They drafted Byron Young. They drafted Kobe Turner. They drafted Josiah Stewart. They drafted they drafted Puka. Yeah. They drafted both their running backs. The Eagles, same thing. You got to draft well. The Bears, you got to draft well.
Mm-hmm.
On top of adding outside the organization talent. It's okay to add through free agency and trades, but you have to still draft when it's to keep the young up-and-coming talent coming in.
Completely reliant on that. Like, I'm looking at their wide receiving core. There's only one starting that they drafted. Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk. They have other guys they drafted. They're not their main guys. They're not starters. Then you look at tight end. I mean, who's going to be the future when George Kittle's no longer playing? Kittle's not getting younger.
And he's tore
And
his
he's getting
Achilles
more
last
banged
year.
up. Yeah, he gets more and more banged up every year.
Real quickly, Nad said that the Seahawks got lucky we had no receivers. John had a very nice response to that. Now, Anthony,
Oh man.
I agree with this comment. However, Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. Remember who they picked number 2 overall in that draft.
Yeah. So while people may look back on it now and say, "Oh, Lynch is a genius," last pick of the draft lands a starting quarterback. Well, you drafted your starting quarterback at pick number 2 and you completely whiffed. Didn't they trade up as well for him?
Yes.
You traded up for a guy who is no longer on your team and is probably on his like 4th NFL team as a backup.
I think he is. I think he's on the Chargers.
That's a loaded statement. I'm trying to give John Lynch credit for drafting Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy was never supposed to have a chance to touch the field. Good for him that he got the chance, but it wasn't supposed to go down like that.
Yeah. If anything, it should have been Brock was the Mac Jones to Trey Lance, but
Yeah.
so Mac Jones, another good acquisition that San Fran made. Being the backup to Purdy last year, he played well in his time.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into some more of these comments, you guys are firing on all cylinders tonight. Zolt says CMC is 30 and had over 400 touches last year. All respect to the guy, but the odds for him staying healthy are not good. No, and I agree. And even if he does stay healthy, Zolt, those numbers take its toll on running backs. I mean, you saw with Saquon Barkley last year. Yes, he was healthy, but he wasn't the same player last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I hope CMC stays healthy, but it's going to be I'm not saying I'm concerned, but I hope he stays healthy. Nad's full confidence mode right now. He's saying that they're out for blood. Nad is full confidence. I love it. And then Anthony said, that's the problem, 400 touches. So your team sucks. CMC is the whole offense. Well, Anthony, last year he had no choice but to be the entire offense. And now we touched on this very early in the show. Yes, Kenneth Walker is a huge loss, but we both of us are very high on Darian Price. I'm not saying he's going to come in and be Kenneth Walker. I mean, you're talking about a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, but I really like Darian Price's film at Notre Dame. And I think when Charbonnet gets back healthy, I think that tandem could do a little damage in the NFC West this year.
I think they will.
And John said Rams don't have a backup. That's what makes the Seahawks so good. That they're so good. They can rotate players in and out with no drop off. And with the Niners, and the Niners are has been. He's saying the Niners are has been. Holy crap. I think John and Nat are going to be my favorite two commenters throughout the rest of my life because they're just going at each other. I love it. And also, the one thing I will disagree, though, when is a backup ever just as productive as the starter?
Yeah, it's hard to find. And yes, Seattle may have some decent depth pieces, but they're still not as good as their starters.
Yeah. And I'll say Seattle was definitely deep last year. I think that depth took some of a hit this year. The other thing that also, but I'll get to that in 1 second. I want to get the rest of these.
Mm.
Nad, I don't want to. I'm not going to jump on that and say about Seahawk fans being those type of fans. Seahawk fans are pretty damn loyal. I'm not going to say that. Oh, and John, there's no disagreement there either. CMC has been run into the ground by the 49ers. But again, the Niners have had easily one of the weirdest stretches of luck with players being hurt to where they had no choice but to use CMC as everything. I mean, God, even in the playoff game against Philly, he was the running back, the wide receiver. Hell, he even threw a touchdown pass. He had to be the quarterback, too. It's just the CMC will go down as one of the greatest players that could have been even more great if he was healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, now Anthony's throwing shots. This is
Oh no.
oh, Nat, don't put us in this.
Yeah, yeah. I said
Us.
that's the reason why I don't think Seattle is going to win their division.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
why I'm
didn't say
leaning more towards the Rams
we haven't even
because
gotten to that yet.
yeah, Kenneth Walker, he is definitely a big loss for them. Like
Yeah, and
I'm not going to sit here and say he's a top 5 running back in the NFL, but he's very impactful. Definitely should be considered top 10.
yeah. And I'm not, and like I said, I'm not coming out here and saying that he's not a huge loss, but also what I'm saying is the one thing I will say about Kenneth Walker not being there anymore, and with Charbonnet being hurt, I hope this doesn't mean Seattle is going to try to go more heavy on the pass because, as
Mm,
good as Sam Darnold has been over these past couple of years, the turnovers will still pop up.
yep. What do we always say? The less that he's forced to throw the ball, the better. And
Yeah, and
that was
look,
their key to their Super Bowl run this past year. Is that they were running the ball so well with Walker and Charbonnet. Sam Darnold wasn't asked to go out and win you football games all the time. There may have been
now
like
don't get me
one or
wrong.
two games that he had to.
Yes, now don't get me wrong. The NFC title game, he won that game.
He did, exactly.
He dominated that game. But let's also be completely real here. There's a reason Kenneth Walker was named Super Bowl MVP.
Yes.
So let's not sit here and act like it was all peaches and cream last year for Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
Still a very good player, still a very good season. I just hope that they don't lean more heavy on him throwing the ball more because still stick to the run. You still have Jadarian Price, who I still like a lot. You still have Emmanuel Wilson. I like Charbonnet when he comes back healthy, but if you look at their receiving core, it hasn't really changed much. I mean, outside of JSN, all right, they re-signed Rashid Shaheed, who, yes, he's a threat. He is a speedster down the field, but he's not always there. There's some disappearing acts sometimes. So I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to be negative here about the Seahawks. I still think the Seahawks are going to be a very good team, but their depth has taken a hit. And if you look at their receiving core, you're looking at Jake Bobo, Rashid Shaheed, Cooper Kupp. Can he stay healthy? And is he still going
Yeah.
to be productive?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, Tyler, what are teams' main focus going to be? Every single game they play the Seahawks. Who are they going to throw the most bodies at?
JSN.
Exactly. So can these other guys step up? Can Jake Bobo step up? Can Rashid Shaheed step up? Can Cooper Kupp step up?
Yeah.
Will Elijah Arroyo, their
I
second
was
year
just
tight
gonna
end out of
say,
Miami?
yeah, second year. I mean, he's supposed to be an impactful player, a playmaker. So they're gonna need to lean on him a little more this year.
Yeah, and look, he showed some flashes. He showed some down the field flashes last year
He
as a
did.
receiving
Yeah.
threat, but
And like the people didn't expect him to, go crazy. I mean, it's not like he was a, top 15 pick in the draft. He wasn't that kind of elite talent, but he was a good tight end that has a lot of potential.
yeah, so, and again, they also have AJ Barner, who also had a very solid year for them at the tight end position last year. He actually became one of Darnold's favorite targets in the postseason. So, they got some stuff there, but the receiving core, it's not deep. I will say that. And I don't like to knock it, but it's not the deepest in the world.
Mm.
But anyway, let's get back to this. Nad, would you leave us out of this? We're not even Jalen Knife. We already we know you know how we feel about Jalen Hurts. Love him, but we know he's not perfect.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And also, by the way, Nad, no offense, one guy plays a lot more valuable position than the other. And I don't mean any disrespect to Kenneth Walker by that. And John said continuity in the offensive line to shoot for the Seahawks while returning. Yes, because we know for years that O line needed help, and it started to look a lot better. Yeah, and that honestly, same thing. The The Robert Saleh loss in San Francisco is huge, but that Clint Kubiak loss is big.
Yeah.
Like Clint Kubiak had that offense humming, and it doesn't have the, like I said, no offense to the Seahawks, but that offense outside of JSN is not the most talented offense I've seen in my life.
No, it's not.
So I think that's a bigger loss. No offense to Kenneth Walker, is losing Clint Kubiak.
Yeah. No, trust me, as Eagles fans, we know losing an offensive coordinator and what it does.
So, yeah, don't talk about. We're not doing this offensive coordinator stuff right now, okay?
You sure? You sure you don't want to go down that path?
Not on this show. And John said they replaced him with a great guy from the Niners. Maybe you know him. No, yeah, they replaced him with Brian Fleury, who is now the offensive coordinator in Seattle. You know, so hopefully that offense can still stay somewhat consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yes, Nat, we are fully aware about Kenneth Walker being a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Hey, Nat, there's no problem with being a glass half full guy because Seattle's still going to be a good team. Like, that's the thing here. Seattle's still going to be a good team. Yeah, and that's it. And John, you make a great point. I feel like Walker was really good last year because he was able to split the duties with Charbonnet. I don't know if Kansas City has another running back. I think Kansas City paid Kenneth Walker based off of what they think he can do as the bell cow. He can be that in a good split. However, we've seen every other Chiefs running back over the past 3 years. It ain't pretty.
Because, I mean, you look at Kenneth Walker's whole career, 4 years in, he's only cracked 1,000 yards twice, once in his rookie year and once this past year. Last year, he only had 1,027 rushing. I mean, that's like bottom 15 of the league. I think it was like 16th. Honestly, he's not completely wrong.
But when did I say he was top 10?
Oh, yeah, no.
I never said he was top 10.
I don't recall you saying that.
I mean, look, don't get me. I'm going to say this about people talk about what Super Bowl MVP. I forgot Kenneth Walker was even a running back in the NFL up until last year.
Yeah, because I mean, when you have back-to-back years of 900 yards, 573, you tend to kind of forget a little bit. And I know there's a lot of Seattle fans who were out on Kenneth Walker before his performance last year.
Man, why are you? Nat's coming in hot tonight.
Oh my gosh, Nat.
And look, we've answered this question. That is still to be determined.
Yeah, he's after what we saw last year. He's the best chance we have. We're not going to sit over here and complain.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when the season gets going. But oh my God. John said Shahid will stretch the field. 49ers fans remember him well. Scored enough points in the NFC playoffs to beat the Niners single-handedly.
Oh man.
Zol, if it's not JSN, I wouldn't touch a single Seahawk in fantasy football at all. If you're asking me to be completely honest,
I would say Sam Darnold QB2 if you needed to, but not QB1 because it's still the interception risk.
Oh yeah, Nad. For a team that has had the amount of injured players you've had in the last 2 to 3 years, this is not a flex. This is not a flex. With all due respect, you signed the Christian McCaffrey of wide receivers. And I love Mike Evans. I do. But you're asking Mike Evans to go to the 49ers at this age and stay healthy? That's a big ask.
Man.
And John said the biggest problem with the 49ers, they're injured all the time. That's why I need some younger play. Yeah, no, John, you've been hitting that spot on. They don't draft and develop players very well. They
Mhm.
bring in veteran players and do a very good job of putting them in good spots to succeed. But outside of that, they really don't draft that well. And Hawks Nation 247 comes and says, "Let me just say something. We don't care."
Hey, I love that mentality. It's a great mentality.
Beautiful.
Trust me, us as Eagles fans, that's our mentality too. You can say anything you want, we don't care.
And Hawks Nation, thank you for commenting. We appreciate it. Thank you for checking the show out.
Man, I wouldn't say dismantle the Seahawks.
Whoa!
That's a heavy word.
If these two teams went toe to toe tomorrow, I'd pick the Seahawks. With no disrespect, I would pick the Seahawks.
What technically two rookie offensive coordinators. So there's that. I think it would be actually a lower scoring game. It would be very defensive.
Oh God, are we gonna get like that Packers
You know
Eagles
what?
thing?
Seattle's gonna beat us off field goals.
Oh please, that odd. It's gonna be like Packers Eagles last year on Monday night, 10-7. It's gonna be one of those weird games. By the way, Hawks Nation, I just got the notification. Thank you for subscribing. Greatly appreciate it.
Welcome, glad to have you here.
Salt said, thank you for taking my jokes and answers seriously. Zol, I try. I do my best. But back to John's point about the Niners, their biggest issue is health. Everything about their situation is health. Brock Purdy has to stay healthy because I think he's not a top 10 quarterback. But with the way he played at certain points last year, he could be top 15.
Yeah, you can.
Would be. That's another thing also, John, that goes back to the Rams, because you want to talk about the one atrocity that the Rams had last year? Their special teams were dreadful in the playoffs. It cost them the NFC title game. Muff punts. It was haunting them all the way. I could date back all the way to the Eagles game early in the season. Block field goals, block punts. They were one of the worst teams on special teams in all the entire NFL last year.
Mm-hmm.
Hawks Nation now asks question: which NFL team will go 17-0? Honestly,
Ah.
Well, Nat, here, let me answer the question too. Not the Niners either.
Not the Niners, not the Hawks. I mean,
Nat knows I love them.
Let's talk about the team we started off the show with. If there is a team that I had to say from before week one even starts, who could do it? The Rams. But I'm also going to say they're not going to do it either because they are still not a perfect team. I don't know that we'll ever see an undefeated team again. I just think there's just so much competition in the NFL nowadays. I don't think we'll see it.
Well, we know what John's opinion is. I don't think I ever could have expected this chat to go off the way it has.
Oh, this is great.
Hawks Nation said that if Aaron Donald will be back this season, I'm not watching football. Now,
Hey, understandable.
I get it. I get people's frustrations with the whole, if Aaron Donald comes back, this is going to be, this could be like an unfair season. I understand that, and I understand he's staying in shape. He's always in the Rams facility working out.
Mm-hmm.
Physical shape and football shape are two completely different things.
That is true. Like we all know, he's a crazy gym rat, but that's not the same as lining up with pads and going out and playing. Not saying he can't do it. I mean, Aaron Donald, he's a freak. He's a freak talent. He's one of the best interior defensive line we've ever seen.
He was probably the best player of football leading up to Myles Garrett.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not saying that any of that matters. I'm sure he could easily step out there week one, forget even practicing during the offseason with the team, and he'd probably still be an impact and get a sack.
Yeah, not to mention he'll come back and probably just be a nice little rotational piece
And
early on.
I was going to say, not to mention, teams would then have to decide, do we double Miles or do we double Aaron Donald?
But now, wait, who's on Kobe Turner? Who's on Byron Young? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, all right, max protect. Throw out all the tight ends.
Picked.
Just going to have two wide receivers running routes. Everyone else is blocking.
Coach, are we running the ball this week? No. We're praying. Nad, you know what? I will say this. Because here's the thing. If there is a time to catch a team like that off guard, it is week 1. Because we know something. In week 1 of the NFL season, everything's on the table.
You're right.
Anything is on the table because there is no team playing good or perfect football week 1 of the season. Never.
Very good point.
Oh, John, trust me, they don't. It will come to bite them eventually.
They're in win now mode. They know this. Their current roster construction is not for the future. It is for now. This year, next year, win a Super Bowl.
The Rams roster is constructed to maximize the full potential of the final years they have Matthew Stafford. Because, and this is why, as much as we did not agree with it on draft night, this is why drafting Ty Simpson made sense. Because then, when it's going to be time to pay some of these other players, like a Byron Young and a Kobe Turner. I mean, look, Myles Garrett's already getting paid like a top defensive player in the league. And the Rams already gave McDuffie a new contract. This is why they did this, because then when Stafford leaves in 2 years, which kind of looks like the realistic window for him, he's going to have 2 more years, it looks like. But what it's going to happen is they will then have a quarterback in Ty Simpson on a rookie deal for at least 2 years to where they don't have to worry about it for at least a couple of years. And if Ty Simpson doesn't work out, they draft another one. Or, I don't know, maybe they trade for Joe Burrow in 3 years. Who knows?
Yeah.
Which quarterback will the Rams find and save next? And there's no disagreeing with this. The Rams do. They have that's why we talked about it back when they made the Myles Garrett trade. Do the Rams have they constructed the best roster we've ever seen? It's very possible. It's very possible. Oh, and John, that's my point. When Stafford's up, they'll pay Puka, and then, like we said, when Stafford's gone, they'll have Simpson on a rookie contract, and they won't have to worry about their quarterback's money for a couple of years.
Puka's still got his option, so I think by the time this season wraps up, or maybe even before then, Puka will be signed. And George, that won't happen because Aaron Donald's not a 49er.
Well, no, I was going to say, this is the last person who should be making injury jokes right about now. This is the last person that should be making the injury jokes right now. John, I get what you're saying, and having depth is a very important thing, but not every roster can be perfect. But if you look at constructed starting lineups, I've never seen a team with this amount of strengths like the Rams. I've never seen something like this in my life.
Yeah.
And, Brian, I don't think it's about him being restricted. I think it's just that they haven't paid him his big money yet.
No, they just haven't gave him a big deal yet. And I feel like it probably would have happened this offseason if it wasn't for some of the off-the-field issues that he got into. But I just think that kind of just pushed it back another year. They're going to wait and see, is this definitely our best decision going into next season to extend him to a big-time contract? And ultimately, they will. I mean, he's going to remain one of the top wide receivers in the league for a long time.
Exactly. So, we have to wait and see. And John, Kobe Turner's another guy who's going to be up for a payday soon. Yeah, like I said, you're not going to have the money to pay everybody. I mean, us Eagle fans know that. You got to start sacrificing certain players in certain positions for others. And right now, we're going through that too. Yeah, Anthony, I mean, if Simpson doesn't work out, that could hurt them. But again, they'll probably just trade for the next quarterback that wants to get traded. I don't know who that would be, but we'd have to wait and see. But let's take a look at the Niners roster for a second here. Their biggest thing is their health. I mean, we have to remember this is a team that won 11 games last year in the same division with the Seahawks and the Rams. Now, yes, the Rams are a lot better, but still, they still won 11 games. Now, their schedule was a lot easier, but still, I don't care about strength of schedule. And I'm going to say that every damn year. You play the teams you play. You can't control what team has injuries, what team got worse. You can't control those things.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You could go from 17 wins in the NFL to 5. But again, Purdy still. I think Purdy could still have a big year if he stays healthy. Still have CMC. I wish they would have done. Now they did draft Keelan Black out of I believe where did he get drafted from? Out of Indiana.
Okay.
So I'm hoping maybe they're trying to figure out a running back tandem to where they can kind of give McCaffrey a little bit of a breather. They still have Isaac Guerrero, who of course he was hurt last year. Their receiving core, if it's healthy, it's interesting. I won't say it's top of the line, but it's interesting. You brought in Mike Evans. You still have Ricky Pearsall, who I still think I'm waiting to see stay healthy and get put into a really good position, but I think he could. Now that you have Evans operate on the other side of him, they brought in Christian Kirk. I'm not sure what that really does at this point.
Not much, really.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't move the needle.
Depth, I'm sure. I wish they would just release Brandon Ayuk and let it be gone because I'm just getting sick and tired of watching Ayuk make his constant social media things.
I think they're just hoping for some miracle to happen where Ayuk just forgets everything, the 49ers forget everything, and then they just go back to him being, the number 1, number 2 wide receiver on the team, and everything's kumbaya. But that's never going to happen.
Nope.
It's over.
Anthony, we will get to that team in a minute. We will get to that team in a moment here.
Yeah, Anthony, before we get to them, I just want to say I will never pick the Cardinals to beat said team just because it looks like an easy win. The Cardinals are notorious for blowing easy wins. Now, new head coach. So they might be turning the page. Which week are we talking that they beat them?
The earliest game.
The earliest game. Wow.
Now, we talked about losing Robert Saleh, still a big loss, but again, everything about the Niners, I'm just going to say, is pending health. Their D-line, it's gotten a little bit of help. Nick Bosa should hopefully be back healthy. Alfred Collins had a solid rookie year, as well did C.J. West. They could definitely help out their interior, their defensive line. But bringing in Osa Odighizuwa from Dallas to bring in that pass-rushing defensive tackle, Alfred Collins and C.J. West can fill the middle. They can stop the run very well, but they needed that defensive tackle to put out there and say, look, just go get after the quarterback. And if you go back and look at Osa Odighizuwa's pass rushing numbers, especially his analytic ones, he puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So, and now he didn't get traded from Dallas because Dallas no longer wanted him. It's kind of with the scheme that Christian Parker's going to run in Dallas. Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams are kind of the better fits in that system. So Osa being really just a really good third down, get after the quarterback style of pass rushing defensive tackle. Really, Robert Saleh's probably in Tennessee saying, you couldn't have got me this guy last year? Because has been the issue with the Niners, since they lost, they got rid of Eric Armstead. Ever since they lost him and DeForest Buckner, interior defensive line pressure, which you see in the NFL is very important. Go look at the 2 teams in the Super Bowl last year. No, here, I'll do them better. Go look at the last 4 teams in the last 2 Super Bowls. The Chiefs with Chris Jones, the Eagles with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, the Patriots with Milton Williams, the Seahawks with Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy. Like, you have to cause interior pressure. So Odighizuwa, he's going to help that Niners defensive line a lot. On top of, they also got Keon White from New England last year. Nice little versatile guy that can play both the edge a little bit and rotate inside. Michael Williams is a guy that I still am very high on. I think, of course, got hurt last year. What else is new? I think that they could. Oh, for what they gave up for him, absolutely was a steal. It's my favorite move of the Niners offseason. But, and then look, the front seven, you still got Fred Warner coming back healthy. So, still high on him. Still one of the best middle linebackers in the sport. Probably the best one healthy. You can make the case for some others, but he's still, in my opinion, the best when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I also love the fact that they brought back. I always said Fred Warner was the best player on that linebacking core, but who did I say was the heart and soul?
Heart and soul, Trey Greenlaw.
Yes. Now, since that Achilles tear, he's had some injury issues himself. But go look back at the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Look at that sideline when he got hurt. How depleted. You saw Fred Warner. It looked like he couldn't even focus anymore.
Yeah.
So I think bringing Greenlaw back into that locker room, putting him back around that team is going to help them a lot. And then if you look in their secondary, it's still solid. If you ask me personally, I still think it's somewhat solid. I don't know why Eli Apple's still on an NFL roster. So Nad, answer that for me, please.
Depth.
But you still have Jair Brown, the safety who, of course, Trenton native, 609's finest. They still have Diamador Lenore, who, is he the best corner in football? No, but he ain't afraid to take on a challenge.
Yeah.
Malik Mustafa, who I still really like a lot. Upton Stout, who actually played very well for them as a rookie last year down the stretch. Again, the Niners will always be a team to me that they just have to stay healthy. And I still think they could win games. They just got to stay healthy. Oh, John, it's no disagreement. You put him and Leonard Williams together, they are probably one of the best defensive tackle combinations in the league, probably the best. I think we got a pretty good one at Philly, but Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy were something else last year.
Yeah. I think the Rams, they'll try to rival that this year, obviously.
Yeah, nah, like I said, is Lenore good?
Yeah.
Great? No, he's not. But like I said, at least he's
It's a
willing to
very
take on the
solid
challenge.
option.
Yeah. Now you want to talk about a situation where you need depth? The Niners do need secondary depth. They don't have much of it. I think the Niners need to consider moving off of John Lynch as their GM. Drafting and developing is not the Niners' strong suit, if I must say. All right, Tyler. We've talked a lot of Rams. We've talked a lot of Seahawks. We've talked a lot of Niners. That only leaves one team left to somewhat talk about.
Nobody. Yay.
Yes, we are personally moving the NFC West to a 3-team division.
The only three teams that will compete.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, where do we start? Chat, feel free to help us out. Arizona Cardinals, thoughts? I think we got a little bit of fans from everywhere around the NFC West right now. I don't think we got any in Arizona. I mean, new head coach, still got Jacoby Brissett. They worked past his contract dispute at least.
Did they?
Did they? I don't know. I thought they did. So wasn't he, or did they not? But he just decided he was going to actually participate in their OTAs and stuff.
I don't really know.
I don't know. All I know is it looks like he's going to be their starting quarterback. That's all I know. Whatever the contract details are, I have no idea. But
nah, that's Fridays.
Yeah, that's for the birds of the gridiron.
Now, Mike LaFleur did come out last month and did say, "Oh, damn it, Zolt."
The Brissets.
He's not. Mike LaFleur, who of course is Arizona's new head coach, did say he's not worried about QB1 right now. Which I'm just going to take as a message saying I don't think I have a great option for
Yeah,
QB1 to start.
that sounds like he's just going into this year as whatever happens, happens. I don't think they currently have their future QB1 on the roster. I don't. Carson Beck, I think Carson Beck could work into being a good QB2 someday in the league. I don't think he will ever take over as their franchise quarterback.
It makes a great point. The man feel will never let that happen.
Yep. Definitely.
Oh my god, that may be the best comment I've seen tonight.
Manning Mafia. Yep, they will make sure that he is on the team that they want.
Yeah, I mean we saw that whole situation dial back a while back with Eli.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Arizona, they have probably the best tight end in football currently, Trey McBride. Um, we'll see if they can get Marvin Harrison Jr. To actually play some decent wide receiving football. Uh, I'm not going to say he's a bust. All I'm going to say is he's not as good as his daddy was.
And again, who put those? But that's the thing. That's what
Yeah, I
we
get
put
it.
unrealistic
We do.
expectations on these kids.
Well, hey, you know what? I'm blaming Marvin Harrison for that one. He's the one who decided to name his son after him and had him play the same position in football all throughout his life. He put him in this situation.
So you're blaming LeBron for Bronny?
Heck yeah, I'm blaming LeBron for Bronny. Are you kidding me?
Well, you better not.
He should have had him change
When you
sports
signed
before
LeBron,
he went to
you're
high
going
school.
to give up you're going to have to trade a couple second round picks for Bronny. Remember that?
Oh my gosh. No, I heard the Lakers are actually pretty high on Bronny. They don't want to move him.
Now, sir, define high. Because you may be right there, but
Valid point. But yeah, I mean, hopefully finally getting an offensive minded coach in here, maybe they can salvage something out of Harrison. I mean, he's not terrible, but he hasn't reached the level that everyone expected him to get to. Then again, with the Arizona Cardinals, who was really expecting that to happen to begin with?
I think the biggest thing is about and Zolt's hits around the head. He's not worried about QB1 because he doesn't have one.
Yeah. So that's always going to be tough for Harrison Jr. Doesn't have a QB1. And honestly, I think Harrison played better with Brissett last year.
Brissett was honestly good last year for Arizona. I mean, if you look at these numbers,
Except for the
65
turnovers.
he completed 65% of his passes, had a 94.1 passer rating. He threw for 3,366 yards. Granted, he threw the ball like 50 times a game. And he threw 23 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. And now, if you look at the Cardinals' weapons at running back, you have Jeremiah Love, Tyler Algier, who I really think got sold a bad deal of goods. I did not think he expected the team to draft Jeremiah Love when he signed there.
Yeah, because then they still have James Conner.
Tyler Algier signed there to get out from the shadow of Bijan Robinson. Oh, well, guess what just
Now
happened?
he's behind two running backs.
James Conner, hold on. James Conner's coming off that foot injury, so I don't know if I would.
Well, yeah, we'll see how he comes back from that. But I mean, if he can get back to even close to what he was doing out there on the field, he's a good running back.
Either way, so let's put it that way. You have all three of those running backs on your roster. Then you have Trey McBride, who I will make the case the best coming off of last year is the best tight end in football. With Marvin Harrison, if he can put it together. Not to mention they had Michael Wilson, who had over 1,000 yards last year. That is not a bad group of skills players. See, That is honestly, if you put a good quarterback on that team, maybe make some noise offensively at least. I'm not saying they're going to be a good team. I mean, they may win 3 games this year, maybe 4.
Yeah.
But like, if you got a quarterback and you said you're going into a situation with Mike LaFleur, who, yes, we have to see how he is as a head coach, but he's another guy from that McVay tree, from that McVay style of offense. And you're coming in with Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, Wilson, and those 3 running backs. That's not. I have seen quarterbacks go into way worse situations.
That is very
You
true.
want me to tell you
Any
this right now?
quarterback that goes to the New York Jets.
I'll tell you this right now. On paper, right now, the Cardinals have a better group of skilled positions players, whoever the quarterback will be. They are handing that quarterback a better group of weapons than what the Raiders are giving Fernando Mendoza in his first year.
Good point. Aside from having Brock Bowers as your safety blanket.
And McBride was better than him last year.
I hear you. The rest of the supporting cast, from the loaded running back room to, Harrison, Michael Wilson, Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne would be the wide receiver 2 or 1 in Vegas right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, it is weird hearing the comments from LaFleur about not concerned about QB1 or he's not worried about it. I would like a little more confidence out of him in who's QB1 because I feel like it should be Brissett. We're not doing Minshew Mania. All right, so we can get that thought out of here.
No. They drafted Carson Beck.
And even Beck. Like, come on, we're not throwing Carson Beck out there week 1.
I think it is a realistic option that if there will be a split at some point this year between Brissett and Carson Beck, we will see both of them.
I believe that. But starting out, it's going to be Brissett. And who knows? They might win games early on with Brissett.
Might.
They might.
They could. Now, everything else on that team, the offensive line still needs a lot of work. They did draft Chase Basantis in the 2nd round, who I really like. So they still have a lot of work to do on that side, on that offensive line. The defense, that's a big issue. Walter Nolan, of course, he's coming off the meniscus injury last year. I really still am high on him. He was having a pretty solid year before he got hurt. So they do have something on that defensive line. Outside of that, they still have Josh Sweat. Still got Budda Baker. They still Will Johnson could easily be one of my favorite corners in the league if he could stay healthy.
Yes. That will be the steal of the draft if he can remain healthy.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great rookie year last year. Just he got banged up.
Mm-hmm.
He was having a great rookie year before he got banged up. Sean Murphy-Bunting, I think, is a solid corner opposite of him, but outside of that defense has still got a lot of work. There's still a lot of work to do with that group, that defense, and with the O-line. But offensively, that is a great group of weapons. Like I said, McBride last year was better than Bowers. I can make the case McBride's the best tight end in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think this may upset you. I think Jeremiah Love has a higher ceiling than Ashton Jeanty.
I can see it. Jeremiah Love has a more expanded game than Jeanty. Jeanty's very, how do I say, one-sided. Like, I get it. Love, he wasn't really a receiving back, but he was able to do it throughout his time at Notre Dame. Jeanty is a pure run the football down the middle, evade a couple tackles, break a couple tackles, power run. And Jeanty, I love what he did in college. He definitely got a raw deal with them, bringing in the numbskull known as Chip Kelly as their offensive coordinator last year. Made him change his stance that he's been doing since he was playing the little peewee ball. I think Gen 2 have a better year. Yes, I could see Jeremiah Love having a higher ceiling than Ashton Genty.
I just think even as a prospect, I would still think Love is better. And I think Genty's going to be a good running back. I do. But I think Jeremiah Love is just like I think he's a transcendent talent. Now, why the Cardinals took a running back with the number 2 or 3 overall pick, whatever.
Well, let's hope he's really transcended then, because they went high with him.
They did. Let's catch up on some comments real quick. John said, "Yep, if Harrison can hang onto the ball, he'll be good." John, I think the biggest thing with Harrison is, and I know it's never been said publicly, I think a part of his struggles have been living up to his dad. Just come out and play your game, and you will be just fine. That's the one issue with a lot of young wide receivers. They get in their own heads. Just play your style, play your game, and do what you do best, and you'll be just fine. Now, the Cardinals situation, it's a mess. No disagreement. But like I said, I have seen teams with worse groups of skill position players than Wilson, Harrison, McBride, Connor, Algier, and Jeremiah Love. As a totality of skills positions players, I could tell you right now how many teams that is better than currently constructed right now. I could. Personally, I think that is better than at least 2 teams in the AFC East. It's better than Miami. It's better. Honestly, it's better than Buffalo's. Now the Jets, they still got Garrett Wilson, got Breece Hall, got some young tight ends who I like. Patriots, I don't know. Patriots, they have a good group. They have a really good group. But there are a lot of teams in the National Football League that are playoff teams that have worse skills position groups than that. Let's continue on here with the comments real quick. Brian said, Arch Manning learned his lesson after being banished to New Orleans in the 70s. He's not going to set up his kids, grandkids for failure by getting drafted by a crap organization. Not wrong, Brian. Not wrong. And John said McBride pretty much was their whole offense in one game against the Seahawks. John, to be fair, McBride is the Cardinals' entire offense on most nights. John still thinks that Arizona can beat the Niners. I think, and like John, I'm not saying it's all that. He was banged up. He only played 12 games last year. He was hurt. I just feel like a big part, from what I've seen, I feel like being the son of an NFL Hall of Famer, and like you said, Tyler, you blame his dad for naming. What are you blaming for naming his kid?
Hey! No, in regards of the pressure that comes with being that junior of an elite NFL wide receiver, that you are putting pressure on your kid from birth, and the fact that growing up, he played the same position as you his whole life. Not like he played a different position. I feel like that takes a different pressure off, because then you're like, okay, this kid's his own player. He's not trying to follow in the footsteps of his father. He's doing his own thing. But, I mean, Harrison Jr., he's just everything following his dad's footsteps. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it does bring that pressure that he may have not have ever thought about. And now he's experiencing it right now.
And like I said, I still think Marvin Harrison will have a very solid NFL career. I'm never going to say he's going to be his dad. I don't want Marvin Harrison Jr. to try to be like his dad. I want him to be Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Go out there, play your game. And you know what? If you don't ever become the Hall of Famer that your dad was, that's fine. Go out there, be a consistent 900 to 1,000-yard wide receiver, because guess what? You and Wilson on the outside with McBride, and with Jeremiah Love, that offense with the right quarterback, a better offensive line, and the right coaching. Granted, they may lose a lot of 45, 37 games because their defense stinks, but that offense could score. They could score with the right pieces.
No, I agree.
Who knows? And you know what? They talk about Art. We were talking about Arch Manning in the chat. All right, they don't get Arch Manning. Dante Moore? Put Dante Moore there. Dante
Yeah.
Moore would have a great group of weapons going into that
Let's not all act like
Arizona team.
Arch Manning lit it up last year.
Yeah, dude, it's a big year for Arch Manning in the Texas
This year
Longhorns. I don't want to.
This year is kind of a make or break year, like Drew Aller had last year.
Oh, dear
before
God.
he got hurt.
Why do you do this?
There's so much more pressure on Arch Manning because of the last name, and there's been pressure on him since he was in high school.
John, they may
John,
split
it's
with the
possible
Niners.
they might split 1-1.
They could split with the Niners, John. I'll give you that.
Any given day.
And on any given
Anything
Sunday.
can happen.
All right, so just for the fun of it, let's look at the Cardinals' schedule. We have. Well, actually, no. Wait. Let's get into our predictions.
Okay.
How we feel like. Let's put this in order. Let's look at each team's schedule, and then we'll give our predictions on the division. And got everyone in the chat. You want to list how you think the NFC West standings will play out? Throw it in the chat, and we'll talk. And we'll pin them to the screen. So the Cardinals, they go at week 1, Chargers. Week 2, they're home against the champs, Seattle. Week 3, they're at San Francisco. Now, on the road, San Fran should still be healthy. I may not give them that one. Week 4, they play the Giants. Week 5, they're home against the Lions. Week 6, they're at the Rams. Week 7, they're home against Denver. Oh, my God, they have a bloodbath schedule. Then they are at Dallas week 8. They're at Seattle week 9. Oh my God, their month of November is brutal. Listen to the month of November. I'm gonna restart November. At Dallas week 8, at Seattle week 9, home against the Rams week 10, at Kansas City week 11, home against Washington week 12.
Who was the one who said that looking at their schedule, they have an easy schedule? Who said that?
I don't know, but they're crazy.
So I might have to go back through the chat. Somebody said it.
Week 13, they're at Philly.
Excuse me, good sir Anthony. Please give me the list of teams that they are beating this year.
I think he was asking.
Oh, okay. I don't. Maybe. Let us know, Anthony. I need to know where your mind's at with that comment there. This is a tough schedule they have.
Listen, from week 8 to week 13, Cowboys, Seahawks, Rams, Chiefs, Commanders, Eagles.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm still just going back to the beginning of that schedule. Going on the road against the Chargers usually play well in their early season games. I think Chargers are beating them. Home against Seattle.
If you pin that comment, I'm ending the show. I'm ending the damn show in this comment.
What's going on, Adrian?
Hello, Age.
There's only one universe, and Anthony isn't in it. Oh man! So I'm looking at the Cardinals. They're losing to the Chargers to open up. They're losing to the Seahawks. They're losing to the to the Niners. They may get their first shot at a win on the road against the Giants. Maybe. It sucks. They start on the road 3 out of 4 games. That's a rough start to begin with.
I haven't finished the schedule yet.
Yeah, I know. Then you go to you didn't even need to finish the schedule because I'm trying to find 6 games that they can win this year. Let's go through it, shall we? Let's go through all of it. Chargers.
Loss.
Seattle.
Loss.
49ers.
Early season loss.
Early season, yes, loss. The Giants. We don't know what the Giants are going to do, and we don't know what the Cardinals are going to do. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll give them a win.
The new John Harbaugh led Giants. No, I'm
Oh,
not
wait
giving
a
them the
minute.
benefit of the doubt.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got to rethink some things.
Loss.
Close loss. Close loss. They're starting 0-4.
That'll be the first game they don't lose by 2 possessions.
Yeah.
So progress.
Home against the Lions.
Loss.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss. On the road against the Rams.
Blowout.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
We're on the same page, all right.
Home against the Broncos. Loss.
Loss.
On the road against Dallas. That's a loss.
You're going to go into Jerry World winning.
Yeah, Dallas is going to smoke them. On the road against Seattle. They're getting swept by Seattle.
Yeah, they're getting swept by Seattle.
Home against the Rams.
Loss.
They're getting swept by the Rams. Going into Arrowhead.
Loss.
Blowout. Because by the time they go to Arrowhead, Mahomes might be back. That's November 22nd.
No. Week 1 looks realistic.
Really?
There's a shot.
Wow. Well, if there's a shot, then yeah, they're definitely getting blown out that game. Home against the Commanders. They're probably losing.
Commanders are going to be a more improved team this year.
Yeah, as long as Jaden Daniels is healthy throughout the year, they're going to be a really good team, and that's going to be another loss. Oh my gosh, did we not give the – hold on. We didn't give the Cardinals a single win throughout this yet.
We're not done with the schedule yet.
But, hold on. But we're looking –
Tyler,
let's take a quick pause.
Tyler, they stink. Their O-line stinks. Their defense is atrocious.
We're looking at them starting 0-12. Sam, if they start 0-12, I don't care how the rest of the schedule looks. They're just going to tank every game from there on out.
They're already tanking. What are you talking about? That's the
how did we just try to give them a little bit of credit?
We're talking about Arch Manning and Dante Moore in the chat. They are tanking. We know this.
All right, let's pick this back up. Home against the Eagles.
Loss.
Home against the Jets. Maybe a win. I don't know. This is a little bit of a revamped Jets team. I think they've done the most for one of the poorer teams in the league throughout this offseason, free agency and draft.
Oh, it's Geno Smith. Give me that's the win. That's the win.
That's the win. And then they go down to New Orleans. They're losing.
That Saints team is very improved.
Then they're home against the Raiders. Towards the end of the year, the Raiders, they might be in a little bit of a groove. Not saying,
maybe Bond.
He might be. I'm going to say a loss. Because at that point, they're just tanking. They'll take the Jets as their one pity win of the year.
And I'm gonna piss off Nad. I'll have them beating San Fran the final week.
San Fran's benching everybody.
Exactly. So there they beat that.
Yeah. So they beat San Fran last game of the year because they beat the backups.
All right. So we have. All right. Here, I'm going to keep this in my phone so we can keep a tally.
Well, this one's easy for the Cardinals. I mean, we picked one team that they might be able to beat, and I say might.
All right. So we have the Cardinals at 2-15. All right, real quick. Let me just catch up on the comments real quick. Nad is back with his confident self, saying that they will cremate every team in the NFC West. Zolt said, "Can already picture defense in fantasy season. Who the Jets or Cards playing this week?" Oh, John, they're 2-15 without a doubt. Nad, for them, it may be Dante Moore's season because I don't think Arch Manning will be caught dead in Arizona. Nad, with what I saw from Kellen Moore last year, they could be.
I think so.
We're going to talk about the Saints in a few minutes here. All right, let's move on to our next. Who we want to do next? San Fran?
Yeah, let's go San Fran. Do it for Nad.
All right, let's get the Niners up here. All right. Okay, that's preseason, damn it. All right, so week 1, Home. They are at the Rams.
Loss. I'm
Hold on, real
sorry.
quick.
It's a prime time game. 8:35. Is this a? What is
That's
this
the
falling? It's a
opener.
Thursday.
It's the opening game because the
Technically,
champs open up
opening
on a
game.
Wednesday.
Yeah, the opening game is technically Wednesday.
Oh, miss me with this crap, all right? Oh, Brian,
Yeah,
we can agree with
Rams.
that. The Saints offense could be good. Tyler Shuck could have a good year. All right, so you're gonna go loss there. I'll go loss there. All right, so that's 0-1. Week
Win,
2, home. They start a 3-game homestand. Week 2 against Miami. That's the.
win, loss.
All right, so you've got
They'll beat the
Dolphins week 2 is
Dolphins.
a win. Cardinals week 3, that's a win.
That's a win. They lose against the Broncos in Denver. Wait, they're home against Denver. Still, Denver, really strong team.
Yeah, it's the game in Australia. I
Oh, that's in
forgot. That's why.
Australia. Ew.
Yeah, yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's why we have to have the game then.
Mm.
All right, so we're going. All right, so the Niners are 2-2 through 4 games. Week 5 at Seattle.
Loss. I don't think they go into Seattle and win.
I think they'll split with
I
Seattle, but I
think they
don't have them
will.
winning in Seattle.
Yeah,
All right, so that's 3-2.
3-2. Yeah,
All right, week 6, home against Washington.
home against Washington. Give me a win.
I'll go. Okay, so that's 4-2. All right, week 7 at Atlanta.
That's a win. I don't know what Atlanta's doing. Atlanta doesn't know what they're doing. And they got a lot of
Yeah,
pieces, which is the sad part.
yeah, you're not wrong. All right, so we got the Niners at 5-2 through 7 games.
Wait, you gave them the win at Seattle?
No,
Oh, wait. So then, wait, what are the. Hold on, let's go back through real quick. Loss against the
wait a minute.
Rams.
Okay, never mind. That's where I had. I gave them an extra. Wait, no, wait. All right, that's one loss.
One loss against the Rams. Win against the Dolphins, Cardinals. Loss against the Broncos. That's 2-2.
Two and
Loss
two,
at Seattle. So 2 and
two and
3.
three, 4. All right, so they're 4-3. 4-3.
4-3.
Okay, my mistake. So we have it 4-3 at their bye week. Remember this. All right, so they come off their bye week. Week 9 at Raiders.
Blowout.
So so are they 5-3?
5. Yeah, that would put them at 5-3.
At Cowboys.
Oh, I
I
don't
may
know.
lean.
Yeah, Sanford does
Dallas
not really
here.
win in Dallas. I think Dallas will win.
I mean, I still think. I think they have a shot, but I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys right now. So what's that? 5-4.
5-4. Yep.
All right, week 11, home against Minnesota.
Uh, we still don't know the type of team Minnesota's going to be.
Or who the quarterback will be by that time of the year.
Yeah, by that time of the year, that's a good way to put it. Give me the Niners. Plus they're home. Yeah, give me the Niners.
So what's that? 6-4.
6-4. Yep.
All
Then
right,
give me another win.
next game up, home against the
Home
Seahawks. So
against
you give.
Seattle. Yep. They get the revenge. Give me a win for that one.
Wow, we got San Fran at 7-4.
7-4. Oh, hey, the schedule's not over yet.
All right, week 13 at Giants.
At Giants, they should beat the Giants.
So that's 8-4.
8-4.
Versus the Rams, I have them losing again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think the Rams sweep them too.
8-5. All right. Next game at Chargers. I can see them losing to the Chargers too.
Yeah, that's a looks like a Thursday night game. Chargers are at home. I think the Chargers will hold that off.
8-6.
Oh,
Next one, they're at the Chiefs.
they're losing, dude. The Chiefs are probably going to be in a stride, and they're at home. That's what's that game? That's 2 days after Christmas, afternoon game. Hey, Kansas City's winning that game.
You have them at 8-7.
Yeah, like I said, the schedule wasn't over yet. They had a good little run.
All right.
Oh,
Week
the game
17.
of the year. Game of the year. We love this one.
Week 17 at Philly.
Loss.
No, home versus Philly. I'm sorry.
Oh, home versus Philly? Loss.
I'm going to give them a win.
Standing on it.
We don't play very well in San Francisco, dude. We really don't.
That's under the old regime.
No, we have never really statistically played well. I'm going to give the Niners
a damn. Sean Mannion, Vic Fangio, they are going to put on a coaching masterclass.
It's also the second to last week of the season, so I don't know who's going to be really playing.
I still think we'll have a good amount of players out there. Because I'll be honest with you right now. I think either Washington or Dallas is going to be very close to the top of the division with the Eagles. There's my little preview.
I'm going San Francisco in this game. I'm giving them their 9th win because I had them losing to Arizona the final week because I think they're going to be resting because I still think they're going to be in the wild card spot. So, so we have the Niners at what 9-8.
But then you could also play it. The 49ers may not be able to rest players against the Cardinals, so they might have to play their guys.
All right, so do you want to give them a win there?
I'll give them a win there.
So we have San Fran at what 10-7.
Yeah, which honestly, if without going through the schedule, if you would have asked me, I probably would have predicted a 10-win season out of them, which would be enough to probably get them in the wild card.
Okay, I'm trying to keep track of this. That's why I'm asking. We have to come to clarity on these things. Nad, the offensive coordinator, that'll probably school whatever Jamope's running your defense now. Don't do this to me, Nad. Don't turn on me. You know we love you. All right, before we get to the Seahawks and Rams, let me just catch up on some comments here. And Brian said earlier that I'd rather have San Fran smokes LA and Melbourne, but I'm not counting on it. Kyle in sorts taking himself into a loss down under. Oh boy. John said, yeah, punishing the shit out of the gate would be great, but I don't know if I want to say that with Nat. He doesn't want to give him the credit with Nat in the chat.
Oh man.
He said you're down bad apparently.
Nah, hey, I'm still standing on that. I think the Eagles will go out there and beat them.
I'm still gonna say it could be tough because we don't statistically or realistically play well in San Fran. I don't know why.
Hey, we've broken a lot of curses, all right? We broke the one down at Tampa last year with the other jabroni. Somehow. So anything's possible, all right? Good old KG.
Oh, God. All right, let's go now to the Seahawks. Here's where it's going to get interesting, everybody. Let's go to the Seahawks. All right. They are opening up on Wednesday with a Super Bowl rematch against the Patriots.
I'm coming out firing.
Seahawks
fans, hold on. I'm going for the upset. Patriots are coming back for revenge.
Oh, man.
I'm one of the people that do think that they had some key players banged up. in that Super Bowl game, and they were not at their best.
I also just think, week one, sometimes the hangover hits you when the banner gets raised and all that stuff.
Yep.
So.
And New England's going to do everything they can to spoil that night. Everything that they can.
And Brian said he said I have Seattle at 13-4. They split with San Fran and LA just because it seems to happen every season. Convinced that they lose to Denver and will drop one to either the Eagles or Cowboys. Okay. Well, right now, unfortunately, we have them losing to the Patriots, so that's 0-1.
I gotta go for they're gonna get caught slumped week one, but they'll pick it up from here. Oh, John, hey, it's not that's one game, John. All right.
Yeah, John.
Hear me out. Hang with me. All right. Well, let's move on to the next.
Hold
one.
on. Week 2. All right, week 2 at Arizona. That's a win. Week 3 at Commanders. That's a win. Week 4 versus the Chargers.
Win.
Yeah, I don't. All right.
Yeah, home against the Chargers. Yeah.
All right, so you up. What are we at so far? 3-1.
3-1.
Week 5 is home against San Fran.
Win.
I think that's a win.
I think they beat the Niners at home.
So they're 4-1.
Going to be when they go on the road.
All right, week 6 they're at Denver.
At Denver is going to be tough, but this is the Seahawks we're talking about.
Brian had them losing to Denver, so you're going to go different.
I think it's going to be a very close game, but give me Seattle, because if I think that they're playing that good and they're stringing off wins, we're looking at what, 3 wins straight, 4 wins straight against the Niners. Give me another win against the Broncos.
So what's that? 5-1.
5-1, yeah.
All right, week 7 versus the Chiefs.
Week 7 versus the Chiefs, and they're home. I don't know if that'll matter though.
They're home a lot.
They are home a lot. It must be nice to win a Super Bowl and have a lot of home games next year. Don't know what that feels like.
Oh no, we had it. We just didn't have back to back.
Oh yeah, true. Give me the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will come in and play them really tough, and they'll hand them a loss at home.
So that's what, 5-2?
5-2, yep.
Week 8 at home against Chicago.
I think they'll win against Chicago. They'll hold out. It'll be another tough game.
To me, this will be Chicago's welcome to primetime game. You're not you ain't the underdogs no more. Yeah. Watch, this is how you got to play real big boy football. All right. So what do we got? 6-2?
6-2.
Home versus Arizona.
Win.
7-2. At Raiders.
Win.
7-2.
Yep.
Right? Yes? No?
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. That's only 9 games. That's week 10.
Bye week? Did they have a bye week in between there?
Week 11. Week 11. That's the next week.
So what did we miss? Damn it. All right, let's see.
You're the one that's supposed to be keeping track of this.
We had, I'm trying to. I thought we had it. So a loss against the Patriots, loss against the Chiefs. Every other one up until then's a win.
Okay.
So that's another 6, 7, 8. 8-2.
Okay, 8-2. Nah, he's not going to be starting for the Chiefs. Hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
All right, so they're 8-2 going into their bye week. Then they open up at the second half at San Francisco.
They're going to lose in San Fran.
All right, so
they're going to split.
All right, so they're 8-3.
8-3.
At home versus the Cowboys.
They're going to beat the Cowboys at home.
9-3.
9-3.
Home
They
against
go
the Giants.
same thing. They're gonna beat the
Ten
Giants
and
at home.
three.
10-3.
At
Then
Philly.
they come to Philly. That's gonna be a tough game. But usually, when Seattle comes to town, we usually take care of business.
I am not. And Quinyon against JSN. But then Vic Fangio always has a plan to make a quarterback look like a little bit of off his game. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, there is week 1 is in play
Yeah,
for Mahomes.
it's
Week 2 he'll
possible.
be
Yeah, it's possible he might start the season. So if you're talking about anything that's like midway point of the season onward, he's definitely going to be back.
Yep.
I'm gonna say a loss to the Eagles.
So what's that? Where we have him at?
That's going to be. Is that 4 losses or 3?
That's 4.
4. Yeah, 4 losses because we had them losing to the Niners. That's right.
All right. So okay. So they're at 4 losses. Then after the Eagles, they're home against the Rams.
Again, split with the Rams, so I think they win at home. They lose on the road.
So that would have them at 11 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then on week 17, they're at the Panthers.
At the Panthers, they're not going to drop a game to the Panthers like they did last year. Or was that, wait, is that the Rams I'm thinking about that dropped the game to the Panthers? That might be the Rams.
Well, the Rams got their revenge in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
They did. But give me Seattle on the road.
So that's what, 12 and 4?
12-4.
And then their final game is at
5 because
so
they lose on the road to the Rams.
all right, so we have the Seahawks at 12 and 5.
12-5, and a lot of those games where I chose losses, I think, can go either way easily. There's not a single unwinnable game for the Seahawks. There will be some that they lose, but all of them they have a shot to win, and it's probably going to be within 1 possession.
I don't disagree. You know what? You know what? That's right. Requel and revenge game.
You guys wanted to let me walk?
Watch this.
Watch, he has 2
All
interceptions that game because they won't throw the ball to Quignon's side.
Well, one does not simply throw the ball at Quinyon Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
One
Now
team
let's
remains.
get to the Rams. Week 1 versus San Francisco. I think we had that as a win, right?
Yeah. At home against San Fran, we have that as a win.
Sorry, so they're 1-0. Week 2 at home against the Giants. That's a win. 2-0. Week 3 at Denver.
You know what? I think this game is going to be where the Rams make a statement. Knocking off the Broncos at Mile High. Give me the Rams to start 3-0.
Week 4 at Philly.
That's a tough one.
I'm giving this to the Rams because still very early on for the Eagles offense to get in the sync with a new system, and I'm sorry, the Rams are due. We have beaten
we've owned McVay. Not beaten, we've owned McVay.
I try to keep it unbiased and PG, but we have whooped the Rams' ass for so many years now. They're due for something.
This is their time. And early in the season, if this was like later on in the season after, they've had some time to get everything together, because I still do believe with Sean Mannion and rookie OC, there's going to be a little bit of a learning period through the first few weeks of the season. So definitely playing a team like the Rams that early on, yeah, I can stand behind that. So they're starting off 4-0.
Week 5, home versus Buffalo. I'm going letdown here. Buffalo's a good team. I'm going letdown.
do you think this is finally the time that Buffalo, silences the critics, so to say? Well, that
It
has to
could.
come. That has to come in the postseason, not the regular
Yeah,
season.
so I mean, look, they've already won 3 huge games. They beat the Niners week 1, they beat the Broncos on the road, they beat the Eagles on the road. I could see them coming back home with a little bit of a letdown. And Buffalo's still going to be good. Josh Allen is still a great quarterback. Bills offense is still going to be good. I think Buffalo may put a statement here, so I have them at 4-1.
Okay.
And here's the reason why. Week 6, home against Arizona.
Win.
So they're 5-1. Week 7 at Vegas, 6-1. Week 8 versus the Chargers, even though they both play in the 7-1. They both play in the same damn stadium. Week 9 at Washington.
Another win.
So that's 8-1.
Yeah. Washington might be playing good football, but still, I think the Rams just going to be on another level.
I can see that being a high-scoring game. John, that's going to be the question here, but we're basing all this off of that he will.
Yeah.
Like with the Niners, we took into consideration that CMC will stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got them at 9-1 through their first 10 games. They come off the bye week in week 11, so week 12 they're home versus Green Bay.
Home versus Green Bay. I don't know. You think
Micah should be back.
Going to be the wake up. This might be the wake up call for the Rams.
Come out a little slow because you're off your bye week.
Yeah, I think they'll drop to the Packers, and then they're going to pick it back up with the Chiefs the next week.
That Chiefs O-line may get dismantled terribly by this Rams defensive line.
Mm-hmm. They might want to consider resting Mahomes. We're going to bring rest games to the NFL.
Stop it. All right, so we were at 9-1 before that, so they lose to the Packers. That's 9-2.
9-2.
And they beat the Chiefs as 10-2.
Beat the Chiefs 10-2. Yep.
At San Fran.
I think they sweep San Fran.
I feel like
San Fran plays them tough at home.
Did we have San Fran splitting this game with them?
I actually think we had them getting swept. I think we had San Fran splitting with everyone else and then getting swept.
So what do we have? 12-2? I don't know. You're supposed to keep track of it.
You know what? I can't keep track of the teams we talked about 2 teams ago. I'm only focused on the Rams right now. But you know what? My gut feeling is they lose to the Rams at home.
All right, so they're 12-2.
Wait, wouldn't that be 12-3?
No.
Oh, wait, no. The Rams lose to the Niners at home.
Oh. So you have them at 11.
Yes.
So they're 11-3.
Yeah, 3 losses.
11-3. All right, then they're home against Dallas. There's 12 wins.
Yeah. They'll win.
I'm not giving Dallas that. 12-3. At Seattle.
They're losing. Seattle's going to let them know that they're still there.
So they're 12-4.
12-4. But last 2 games of the year, they're going out strong.
All right, so wait, hold on. They're 16. All right, yeah, so that's that'd be 11-4. 11-4. We didn't consider, we didn't take the bye week out.
Okay, 11-4.
So 11-4 after losing to Seattle, and then they win their final 2.
Yeah.
Because if Seattle, I'll tell you right now, if Seattle's 12-5 and the Rams are 13-4, ain't nobody resting that final week.
Nope. I think that's the situation we're going to see. For this division, I think the same thing for the NFC East.
So, all right. So here are your final NFC West predictions, guys. We have the Cardinals finishing in last at 2-15. We have the San Francisco 49ers finishing in third at 10-7. We have the Seahawks, the reigning champs, finishing at 12-5. We have the Rams finishing at 13-4.
And watch, the
Nad, you've
Cardinals
lost.
end up winning like 8 games next year.
Oh, John, let's
Oh,
not do.
Jesus.
All right, Tyler. Let's move into our last little bit of NFL news that we do have. Alvin Kamara restructured his contract finally. There was a lot of speculation with going into this offseason with him. There were a lot of speculation that he would not be in New Orleans. There were odds on he would be on a new team. But last week, him and the Saints agreed to a restructured deal. His base salary for 2026 is $6 million. That can reach $8.5 million with incentives, keeping him in for his 10th season in New Orleans, and now gives him the opportunity to finish his career with the Saints. How you feeling about that?
It'll be nice to kind of not force Travis Etienne to take on a huge load. It'll allow him to be able to, rest more, be more effective. And Kamara, I mean, he's been a staple of that franchise his whole career. So, to keep a veteran like that in the building, I think it's really good. Last year, he dealt with some injuries, only played 11 games, very much a down year. But if they can get him back to that dual threat receiving back, that would be a very nice compliment. Having Kamara as the receiving back and having Etienne as your ground and pound guy.
I can see it. Real quickly, John, thank you for tuning in tonight. Greatly appreciate you in the chat tonight. And just
Oh
so you
yeah,
know,
thank you.
this show, especially during NFL season, where it's every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So whenever you're around, John, on the YouTube, always come in. And John, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate that.
Thank you.
We greatly appreciate that. And John, we'll be talking a lot of NFL between now and, of course, into the season. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever you have time to come tune in and throw in the comments, we greatly appreciate it. But thank you, John, for throwing all those comments tonight. It was a good time. I feel like you and Nat are going to be a staple in the chat for the season. This could get entertaining throughout the NFL season for us. But no, back to what you were just saying about Kamara with ETN. I don't want to say it's going to be similar, but remember when Alvin Kamara was at his most effective? Is when him and Mark Ingram were back there in that
Yep.
backfield
Mm-hmm.
causing havoc. So I could definitely see a scenario where I'm not saying ETN is as good as Mark Ingram was. ETN's a very good running back, but I'm not saying he's Mark Ingram. But, like you said, keep both him and don't forget they also have the kid Devin Neal, who they took out of Kansas back in
Yeah.
2025.
Mm-hmm.
And, so you could really have a pretty solid run game in New Orleans next year with Kamara still rotating in, but more your pass catcher. He's always been a really good pass
Oh
catching
yeah.
back.
Oh man,
And
I can't wait to get to that NFC South preview.
when have we ever heard someone say that before?
It's not. It's really just for one team. It's not really for many teams.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think that Saints run game, and look, they have the weapons on the offensive side. They have Olave still. They still have Tyson. They drafted Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
They have weapons on offense, but Tyler Shuck entering his first full year as a starter. When you have a young quarterback in their second year in the league, the best thing you can do for them is give them that very strong, consistent run game. The Saints have beefed up their offensive line through the draft and free agency over the years, and now you're gonna have ETN out there with Kamara and Neal. That could be Kellen Moore could have a lot of fun and success with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to come out fully and say it because I like Mark Ingram was a really good player for the Saints, but Etienne and Kamara, even with Kamara at this stage of his career, first of all, it's cool that he's probably going to retire a Saint. He's going to get to spend his whole career there.
Yeah.
I like that for him, but I definitely like this little tandem between him and Etienne now. And with Neal giving you some change of pace as well as that third string option, he came on to play pretty solid towards the end of the season last year for them when their running back room was banged up. So definitely something that's going to be interesting to see in New Orleans. Orlando,
Orlando.
what's up, brother? Hope all is well, man. Hopefully, all that air quality in Ohio is a lot better. Yeah, you were lucky last week. You had to deal with the smoke.
Yeah, you're right. It all went
Bad air
away
quality.
for now.
Air quality in Ohio a few days ago was 500 was the AQI.
Wow.
We were roughly around the 260s. I think we close to 300 the one day, but they were
Oh man.
rough times out there. But yeah, no. So Kamara stays with New Orleans. Awesome thing to see. I'm glad that he got that deal worked out. And like I said, base salary is $6 million. He can go up to 8.5 with incentives. So sure, there's plenty of Pro Bowl incentives, current certain amount of yard percentage incentive, all that good stuff.
Yep.
All right, Tyler. Since we're NFL only tonight, I thought it would be fun to play a little beat the grid for the NFL this week.
Love this.
So let's hop into it. And everybody at home watching, if you guys have answers that you would like to be put on, let us know and we'll let you go. We'll throw those answers in there. Orlando, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that air quality is a lot better where you guys are now. We're doing a lot better over here as well. So here we go for this grid. On the left side, you have Buccaneers, Patriots, and Saints. And on the top half, you have Chiefs, Bears, and Pro Bowler. So, Tyler, if I'm going to start us off here because I have a good one for Chiefs and Patriots, we're going to go with A.J. Brown's favorite head coach.
For New Orleans, Kansas City, can I get a Tyrann Mathieu?
Right, let's see. I forget. Let me see where the honey is there. Where is Honey Badger? There he is. Very good guess, Tyler. Very good guess. All right. So we're moving down. We're moving down the list here. So now let's see. Can we get a Buccaneer with the Chiefs?
Buccaneer Chiefs.
Oh, Georgie, thank God you're here. We may need your help.
Oh man.
Air 780. I did see
That's
that.
crazy.
I saw a video of somebody in a warehouse working, and they said that. All right, Chiefs. I have somebody for them in Tampa.
Who are you thinking?
God, hold on a minute. I'm not cheating. I'm spell checking.
Oh, George, that's too easy. Pro Bowl Saints. Yeah, I think even Michael Thomas. That's too easy for the Saints.
There you go.
Donovan Smith. Wow.
Sir holds a lot.
Jeez.
Yeah, let's just go there for the Saints. That's a give. That's easy. All right.
How is it that low? I'm sorry, 34% for Drew Brees is crazy.
I mean, you go Michael Thomas.
You could go Kamara.
Go a lot of ways there, honestly.
Pretty sure Ingram was a Pro Bowler a few times in his career there.
Yeah, that's only the players that we're aware of.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here. Let's make it even more easier, shall we?
AJ Brown. Oh, Tom Brady.
Or
Well,
wait,
actually, we couldn't
wait,
do AJ Brown because he didn't play a snap for them yet.
or wait. Do we go Randy Moss for the Patriots to put Brady for Tampa Bay?
Or, I mean, I'm open for either of those. What if we go? Did Wes Welker a Pro Bowler?
Oh, what the? Nate, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to
Oh,
pull here?
Wes Welker.
Oh, wait, no. I got a better one for you.
Oh no, what does he got? Oh, okay, all right.
Wait,
Wait.
what?
Oh my gosh, Sam, you threw it.
No. It doesn't
Wait,
have to. No, it doesn't have to be a Pro Bowler with the Bucks. It just has to be he
you're
played with
right.
them.
That he played with them.
Dude,
Huh?
this
Wow.
we just
Okay.
got.
So we thought too far outside the box.
No, we didn't.
No, I know. For the Beat the Grid site, we did.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
All right. Well,
Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom. Players
uh
must have played in a
yeah,
regular season or playoff game.
I know.
So the grid just cheated us. The grid literally just cheated us.
All right. Well,
Well, here, let me get my revenge on it. Okay, I want to make sure. Did Mike Evans play for Tampa? Got to make sure of these things.
oh
All
man.
right. Now here's where it gets interesting. We do have two guesses left, but we will get
No, we got three.
extra since the grid screwed us again.
We still got our three guesses left. That's ridiculous.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So we need someone who's played for the Bears and Patriots, the Bears and Saints, and the Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm.
George says Thomas Jones for the Bears and the Bucks. Okay. I'm gonna. All right. George, once again, always has his guys that don't have the freaking pictures.
It's always you and George. There's always one guy that you throw out there, no picture. Even though Vrabel should have a picture. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, like Vrabel played in the 2010, like the end of his career was with the Chiefs. All right, so now we need someone who's played for the Bears and the Patriots.
Hmm. Um,
And the Saints and the Bears too. Hmm. That wouldn't count because Kevin Byard hasn't played a snap with the Patriots yet.
yeah, true. Oh man.
I cannot believe that Gronkowski thing just happened. I am so irate about that. Let's just ignore the fact that he played for the Patriots with the Patriots and the Buccaneers with Tom
Yeah.
Brady.
Oh man.
I'm dumbfounded by it.
These are some weird combos now.
And he literally was a Pro Bowler 5 times.
Yeah.
So for any of the geniuses that want to try to get. George, am I missing something here?
I'm trying to think outside the box for running backs.
Hmm. Yeah, this is actually kind of really
Deion Lewis? I have no idea, actually. I don't think he ever played for Chicago.
no, I don't think he did either. I don't know if he played for the Saints.
Hoyer? George might be on to something.
Okay, let's. Did he say that's for the Bears and the Patriots?
Yeah, there's Patriots. Oh,
Okay.
nice, George.
All right, so now
Good
we
old,
have to use our extra
good
guesses for the
old
Bears and the Saints.
Cleveland Brown legend Brian Hoyer. I know George probably has a jersey of him.
Oh dear, Brian freaking Hoyer. All right, I'm trying to think of Bears and Saints.
This one's gonna be tough. Trying to even think like linebacker.
I'm trying to think of any possible position I can think of, but this is actually like
Wide receiver. Can't think of any crossovers for that.
Colston never played for the Bears. Michael Thomas never played for the Bears. Brandon Cooks never played for the Bears. It's probably one of the few teams he hasn't played for.
Yeah, right.
Malcolm Jenkins never played for the Bears. Oh my God, Bears and a Page and Saints. Who I feel like there is obvious ones that we're just not getting.
There's got to be some obvious one. I just have no idea though. What?
Did Chase Daniel ever play? Did Chase Daniel back up both of these teams?
Jeez, it feels like he played for almost every team in the league.
Very good point. George, come on, man, help us out here. I'm dying here.
Hmm.
Jimmy Graham never played for Chicago, right?
Wait.
Like towards the tail end.
Why do I feel like he did play there for a year? Oh,
And we have
George, are
and
you
we have
sure?
oh, I mean, look, we have freaking 263 of these damn guesses.
Oh
He
my gosh.
did.
Hold on, I gotta look up what year did he play for them?
What year did Jimmy Graham play for the freaking Bears? That's gotta be so late.
He played 2020 and 2021. And
That's
then
why I
he
don't remember.
retired in 2023 with the Saints.
All right, well, guys, guess what? I'm giving us credit for that grid because that grid cheated.
Yes. Because
Because
Gronkowski is a Pro Bowler.
and he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life. But Tyler, got anything else you want to talk about tonight?
That's about all I got.
Well, all right then, guys. That's going to wrap up Unbiased tonight. Great to be back on the grid this week. Thank you, everybody who flooded the comment section tonight, especially on the YouTube side tonight. We had John, Nad, Hawks Nation 247, Brian, Anthony, Zolt. Thank you guys all for coming out and throwing the chat and blowing it up all night. Dustin, Georgie, Fighting Philly, thank you guys for in Orlando. Thank you guys for throwing some comments in on the Facebook side. George, the damn thing does cheat us. It definitely did. It cheated us like it was that definitely cheated because Gronk
Mhm.
played for the Bucks. We know he
Oh,
did.
yeah.
We watched him. But I should have just went Mike Evans early on anyway. But either way, guys, thank you everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you everybody who commented in on the YouTube and Facebook side. This was the first of what is going to be many NFL division preview shows. We are just getting it started this week. So we'll be back at it next week with another one. Hope you guys enjoyed. We are back on the normal schedule this week. DA After Dark will be on tomorrow. I'm sure George is putting together a great list of topics for us to talk about. Hitting Home will be live on Wednesday. We will have some All-Star game recap. We'll have some news around the world of baseball. Maybe a special guest. I'm not going to confirm that yet. I got to wait to hear Dustin let me know that tomorrow. Birds of the Gridiron will be back on Friday night at 8. So thank you, everybody who tuned in tonight. Hope you all enjoyed tonight's division preview show. And we will see you guys tomorrow night for some DA After Dark. So, for Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Have a good night, everybody.
The following has been a presentation of 609 Sports Talk Radio.
Sam, what did